Welcome to this week's episode of La Vida Gypsea. We here at La Vida Gypsea believe in honesty and integrity, and we feel like we honestly need to tell you guys that this episode you're about to watch is not going to be full of adventure and fun. It's going to be full of boat projects, financial problems, and all the bad stuff that comes with boat life, because boat life right now on our boat sucks. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of La Vida Gypsea. The last time you guys saw us, we were running out of food, but sweet baby Jesus heard our prayers, and there's a veggie truck here with a bunch of fun stuff. So maybe we get to stay here a little bit longer. Let's see what they got. Wow, okay. Alright. Dame un paquete de cerveza. We've only got a few days left here in literal paradise, and one of the things that makes this place special, besides obviously the scenery, are the people here. The Gunayala people have been so sweet, so nice and kind to us. They come by the boat all the time trying to sell us stuff a lot of times, but a lot of times they're just curious, and we've been able to kind of get to know some of the people here, especially on this anchorage, because we've been here for a couple of days just chilling and hanging out, and they live a very clean, healthy life, and studies have shown that they live a lot longer than a lot of people on this planet. However, they do live in poverty, and one of the ways that they get by is with contributions from people from the mainland. They'll bring clothes and food and just like essential items. So we thought ahead before we got here, keeping in mind of people that often get overlooked, and that's the kiddos. So we've got some goodies for them, some coloring books and some pencils and some notepads and stuff, and we're gonna give it to the little girls that we met the other day on this island, and hopefully we can bring a smile to their faces. Rise and shine, lovelies. It is early in the morning and we are leaving San Blas, and we're going to Bocas Del Toro, and just in time too, because over the last few days I have been very sick. I've been pushing fevers of 103. Yesterday afternoon I was able to keep my fever under 100, but today in the morning I just took my temperature again and I'm back at 100. So it's time to go to El Doctor, and there is no doctores anywhere near these beautiful islands, but there's doctors in Bocas, so off to Bocas we go.
We can't even begin to count all of the night sails that we have done. For the most part, the peace, serenity, and gliding through the ocean leaves us feeling energized and elated, especially when conditions are right and we are greeted by the sunrise and a few marine friends. But this time, it was one of the worst sails I have ever experienced. The aches and pains going through my body was more than I could handle, and I was left feeling drained, sad, and extremely exhausted.
Well, not all sails are sunny sails, and this one has not been very sunny. We've had a lot of rainstorms, a lot of rain clouds as we've been making our way back to Bocas. But not only the rain, our spirits have been kind of down as well. We're very excited to be going back to Bocas. We're excited to be able to get to see our friends again. But we're coming into Bocas a little beaten and tattered. We're hobbling into Bocas on one dagger board. We only have one throttle cable, I don't know if I've told you that yet, but we had a throttle cable go out on our starboard engine, so we have no control of that engine. And not only that, but Linda has been sick all the way here, and now she's got a case of laryngitis or a sore throat or something, I don't know, on top of all the other aches and pains she's been dealing with, so she can't even speak. It's rough for Linda when she can't speak, so this has not been a good sail. Not only that, but she makes a living speaking, so she's not even able to do her work lately, and that's really brought her down. So this has been a rough sail in those terms, and it's been kind of piling on. So we're going to get to Bocas, we're going to regroup, try to fix what we can, get some plans to take care of this dagger board, and getting our lives back in order. We should be there in about 4 or 5 hours, and I'm going to be happy to drop that anchor and get things turned around here. What'd you find out?
I have freaking COVID.
COVID?
Yeah. It's like super positive. You're supposed to wait 15 minutes and 30 seconds putting the drops in. Both little lines went red. Like super red. I waited the 15 minutes, but I believe it 100%. I mean, I've been feeling like absolute trash the last 4 days. So
that had to have come from your brother, because we have been literally out in the middle of nowhere.
I know. But I've just been so tired and feverish, like bad fevers and shakes, so it just makes sense. But I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do. This super sucks. We're going to have to put a pause on the fun stuff for at least 2 weeks until I can take another one of these. So please hold while I get better.
Don't give it to me.
What do you want me to do? We're on a boat, man.
And the delivery service came through. I've got my new throttle cable here, direct from Panama City. I believe it's exactly what I needed. It's the kind I needed and the length I needed. I'm really surprised and impressed that they had one in stock in Panama City. But got the throttle cable. I've already detached it from the engine side, but getting it off of the actual throttle itself is going to be the trick. So I'm going to dive into that and see if I can't wrestle it off of there, and then get this new one put in so that we can at least check something off this list and get this boat back in order. Here we go. By taking the compass off, I'm able to reach the top of that throttle cable. It's not easy, it's not a big hole, but I think I can get my hands down in there and get onto that throttle cable and get it loosened up. The problem is the cable is also attached about midway down, and that's going to be trickier. Although I do have an access panel down here on the pedestal, so the cable's attached somewhere down in here, so I'm gonna either have to come up or go down, one way or the other. It's not gonna be easy, but at least I'm making a little bit of progress. All right, it was quite a puzzle, but I finally figured out how to get this shifting lever mechanism out of the pedestal here. I had to take it apart. I had to take the backing plate off this shifter and then actually shift the thing into gear to get these little arms more narrow, and then I was able to slide it out. I was able to wiggle it out of that hole because that backing plate was not going to come off, and even if it did, the fiberglass hole was not much larger. So it was quite a puzzle, but I finally got it out. Now I'll be able to get access to these throttle cables, and I can get them replaced, and then the trick's going to be getting it all back together. And the moment of truth. It works. Beautiful. I don't know if you can hear it in the background, but it is revving up. We've got our throttle back.
What the hell?
Well, we don't always get into the dirty, grimy parts of La Vida Gypsea, but this is one of them. This one is the one that I like the least. It's trying to work on our head here. This is not sewer water, this is all seawater, but this here on the floor is like calcified petrified poop and pee. The hoses get clogged up with this stuff, and this hose here in our master suite has been clogged up and has not been letting anything through because these rocks just, you know, they get all clogged up and stuck in the pipes. And so what I'm doing is beating it with a hammer, snaking it, running pipes through it to try to get it clean.
So bad.
Yeah, it's not pretty, but it has to be done. I don't have a spare pipe to replace this one with right now, so I'm trying to do the best I can to get this stuff pushed through so we can at least have a head until I get to a marine store and I can get some new pipe. This isn't the pretty part of boating, but got to get it done.
Whoa. Looks like nothing ever happened.
Giving it a test.
Doesn't stink.
Putting it all back together. Come take a look. Let's see.
Whoa, that's lightning fast.
That was lightning fast.
Yeah.
It has been trickling.
We can do lightning poops.
Well, I'm pretty stinky. I'm pretty dirty. I've got sewage all over me, but I got everything put back together, so now I think it's time for a shower and maybe a margarita or a beer. Today on La Vida Gypsy's unscheduled boat projects episode, we've got another one. It's a generator again. This time I went to turn on the generator because I wanted to make some water and charge up the batteries a bit. And I always check to make sure that we're getting good exhaust, that we've got a lot of water spitting out so that we don't overheat. And this time we did not. It was significantly lower, so I thought, okay, let me start from the beginning. We checked the raw water filter, checked the through holes and so forth. I did that. Everything was okay. I went to the impeller thinking, well, maybe the impeller's messed up. I had just replaced it not that long ago, but you always got to give it a look. And the impeller was still intact. It did have a few ribs that were starting to crack, so I went ahead and replaced it anyways since I had it open, but that was intact. Then I went to the heat exchanger. The heat exchanger was clean. I could see light going all the way through all the tubes. So that wasn't the problem. So you keep on going down the line, and the next thing down the line, and really the last thing down the line, is the exhaust elbow. And that happens to be what my problem is, I think. I haven't fixed it yet. I'm in the middle of this project, but it looks like that's the problem. It was quite a trick getting the elbow off, because just to get this elbow off required me taking the whole generator apart. But this is the culprit, and looking into it, I don't know if I can get a good shot. I'm going to get into the light and see if I can shine it down. But this thing is clogged. Lucky for me, I had a nice brand new clean spare, so I can get this thing swapped out and hopefully get going again. But this is what we're dealing with on the inside of this thing. Look at how much gunk and deposits are in there. That's where the actual exhaust fumes come through, and then they mix with the water down this little pipe and come out. But you can see in there it's just black, 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 and it is gunked up. Where the water comes through, it looks like it's pretty clogged up in there. So I do not think I was able to get enough water flow coming through this thing, and it seems like it needs to be replaced. The lesson learned here, do not buy a boat unless you're very handy and don't mind getting dirty all the time, or unless you've got a lot of money to pay somebody else to do this stuff, because these projects, like I said, are unscheduled. Wasn't expecting this today, but they pop up all the time, and you just got to be able to stop what you're doing and deal with them, because this is an important piece of equipment on our boat. We do have the solar panels, and they do a great job of charging the batteries, but they don't always get them 100% charged with the amount of power that we use. And this generator here is what's wired up to my water maker. So in order to make water, I need this generator functioning. So that's why I dropped everything to try to get this thing fixed right away.
Anything the captain touches turns into disaster every time. Everywhere he goes, he literally, everything explodes around him as he has to dive in to get something fixed. What are you doing now? Right next to my workstation, by the way. What's going on in there?
I'm trying to get our radar fixed and our instruments talking again. We've got a network switch that networks all our electronics together, and it was out. It was not powered up. And we need the radar. We need the radar for our big, long journey that we've got coming up. So I'm trying to get it back together. However, after I started doing some work on it, I ordered a new one, started getting it installed, and I'm still having the issue. So now after I'm doing some troubleshooting, it looks like it's another problem, not the network switch itself, which means I probably just bought a network switch for no reason, which really upsets me because these things aren't cheap. And now I've got a spare. Good news is it looks like everything's working right now, except for our fish finder, which is another issue. I don't know what's up with that transducer. I'll tackle that later, but we certainly don't need a fish finder for our crossing. But the bad news is it looks like there was some sort of short in the wire that I did not detect earlier when I was doing my troubleshooting. And so therefore I've ordered this
$300 part for nothing.
Yes. So now I've got an extra. So, if any of you guys out there want this lovely Raymarine HS5 network switch,
Fresh out of the box.
Make you a deal.
Oh, man. Now we wait 15 minutes.
What's the verdict?
Negative. I'm free. I'm free. I'm free. I'm free. We can get off this boat and socialize and be free. Yes. One good thing in the last month. Good news, finally. Ugh.
After 2 weeks of boat projects and quarantine blues, it was finally time to enjoy our time here in Bocas del Toro. We lifted the anchor and set off to island hop a bit and show her off a little to some good friends of ours who were itching to get some sailing.
Holy crap! This was supposed to be a relaxing sail!
Oh yeah, coming back in, we got us a monster fish. This is a really nice sized fish. I don't know what it is. We think it's a king mackerel. It's a mackerel of some sort. I think it's a king mackerel. We've never caught one. But bringing the fish in, I think I got hooked, and it got hooked right into a vein. And so I lost a lot of blood. I'm getting blood everywhere. We've got blood all over the boat. So we're going to get this fish cleaned up and then clean myself up.
No, we're gonna clean him up and then clean the fish up. This guy's in... Don't listen to him.
Cleaning the boat.
We're fixing it. We're fixing it. Kurt, Jesus! How do you feel?
I feel fine. I'm just leaving bloody footprints everywhere, so
You can clean up now.
I gotta clean up.
Dude, carnage.
So I did not realize just how sharp those mackerel teeth are.
That blood you see there is a little bit of the fish.
That's a little bit of my flesh.
Oh
yeah,
my
stuck
God.
in between those teeth.
Ooh, yikes. They say vitamin D is a great remedy for curing illnesses. And now that I am negativo on my COVID, we're trying to speed up the process here. Change scenery and get a little bit of sun. There's a cloud right now, but man, it's a sunny day and it's beautiful. It's been helping us kind of get away from the stresses of all the boat and maintenance and things. But now that our minds are getting a little clearer, it's opening up space for more problems that are coming up now, and that's our finances, guys. We don't really talk about this stuff because it's personal, obviously, but it's a problem right now.
Yeah, we've got a big problem right now.
Big
Finances
problem.
are always a hot topic when it comes to boat life because you're limited on how much money you can make while you're on a boat because you just don't have the opportunities out here. And boat life is expensive. So with that combination, it usually helps if you have some sort of passive income coming in from external sources. And that's what we were trying to accomplish with that pirate ship that we invested in Panama City. We invested in that a number of years ago, right before COVID hit. And because COVID hit, it really put us in a big hole, a hole that we have not been able to climb out of. Even though the pirate ship is doing well in Panama, it's not doing well enough to get us out of that hole. And we are not in a position and don't feel comfortable putting more of our investment money into that project.
Yeah.
So therefore, I believe we're going to make the decision to shut that business down and try to recover what we can out of that investment.
Right.
However, it looks like it's going to be a huge loss for for us.
Or a total loss.
Well,
us,
yeah, and nothing has happened at this point in time, so we don't know. We're just going to wait and see. But we have to come up with a plan B, and we don't have a plan B. That money from the pirate ship was going to be the money that we used to finance our life here, and now we've got to come up with some other means of income to finance this lifestyle. But we do have the YouTube. I mean, that's something that we work on. It does take a lot of hours, and we enjoy doing it. However, it's not an income stream right now for us.
The ROI
that pays
on
the
this
bills.
is not good.
We get some money from this YouTube channel, but not a lot. So yeah, that's not something that we can count on. We need to have something that's a little more solid. And so right now, we're stressing over it. We're brainstorming. We're trying to come up with some ideas to, to see what the future holds.
Yeah, it's just a huge downer though, because I mean, we've just been spending the last couple of weeks here. I was sick. And then we got here and everything's broken, and we've been dropping money like crazy, getting parts ordered in, getting everything fixed. You've done a fantastic job at fixing these things, but our bank account is hurting. So now with this recent news, like, Boatlife sucks.
Yeah. So we're trying to come up with an option. Worst case scenario, we would have to quit the boat life, sell the boat, and go back and get real jobs, which is always an option. We're not afraid to work by any means. However, we do enjoy this lifestyle, so we're hoping we can come up with an option that allows us to keep on going and bring some money in at the same time.
It is gonna be a good day today. The sangria says so. We are trying to turn our frowns upside down and end this time here on a good note. So we are inviting some friends here in the Anchorage and long-term friends that we've had here in Bocas Del Toro. We're gonna go out for a day sail and enjoy our time here because we do not want to leave here upset and distraught. It's time to make life happy again, and the best way we know how is sailing. All right, guys, I've got some special guests for this party. I brought them all the way from Mexico. We met these guys in Nuevo Vallarta, and this is Sailing Bohemia, Pedro and Tom.
Hello.
And they are on this beautiful monohull that's right over there. And they're gonna go to the dark side for a day and enjoy sailing. Hopefully, we get some wind.
Catamaran style.
You guys excited?
Thank you for inviting us. Yeah, absolutely. You had us at Booze Cruise.
Yeah.
We are still done with one hull.
Yeah.
It's all about two. The more, the better.
That's right. We're gonna get the party started. Woo!
Yes.
We're a lucky bunch today. We've got 1, 2, 3 boat captains. We've got our OG Cap. We've got Captain Rick right here handling some business. We've got Captain Tom over here who's just
Too
supervising.
many captains, that's
He's
the problem.
Supervising. Beautiful sunny day. Everyone's getting their tan on. Yeah. All right, off the top of your head, your favorite thing about a catamaran and your favorite thing still about your boat.
My favorite thing about this catamaran, definitely the crew. And with Richard.
And your favorite thing about your boat?
Favorite thing about my boat, it's small. I can easily single-hand it because I don't have the support at home.
And this, my friend. Damage done.
Yeah, that was fun. Maybe a little too much fun, I don't know, but now the fun is over. We got to get busy because we've got to get ready for our longest crossing yet. We're going over 1,000 miles on this next hop.
Yeah.
So we got to get some fuel in this boat and
Yeah.
get ready for our guests.
Yeah, so thank you guys so much for watching. If it's your first time here, make sure that you tap that like and smash that subscribe button. Patrons, thank you so much for putting the wind in our sails, and we will see you guys next week.
See you next week.